Hi guys, and welcome to the final episode of Let's Brew This on our Geordie Bitter. A slightly different setting today as I'm filming this one from home. That said, today is a very exciting day for me, tasting my very first homebrew and announcing the winner of our social media competition to win a Munton's Stout kit. But before we do, I'm very eager to find out how my homebrewed Geordie Bitter has turned out. I have to say, brewing a kit was a lot easier than I first feared, which does make me a little bit nervous. Does it taste any good? To put it to the ultimate test, I have asked Fabian Clark, one of our beer experts here at Munton's, to give me his opinion on the brew. Fabian, welcome and thank you for joining us for the Geordie Bitter tasting. Why don't you start by giving us a quick overview of your role here at Munton's?
Basically, my role involves developing new products for brewing and beverage, whether it be new applications for malt or new applications for liquid extracts. And then I help out and try and be on hand for different troubleshooting issues that our brewing customers tend to get every now and then.
Quite the beer expert then. I think we're putting this one to the ultimate test.
Yep, I think that'll be about it. So I've got a sample of your beer that was kindly brought in, and I'll just give that a go. So the sample I've got here looks pretty good, not labelled.
It is the Geordie Bitter, I can promise you that.
Fizz was good on opening it, so just pour it. Carbonation looks pretty good. You can't see actually what I'm doing, can you? So yeah, carbonation looks pretty good. Head retention could be better. Aroma's clean, so it smells like it's fermented really well. Clarity's really good, colour's good. So as far as I can tell, just visually, it looks like a bitter. It looks like it's doing the job.
That's a good beer. I'll take that.
Aroma's slight burnt sugar, caramelly notes in there. Bit of yeastiness, maybe a little more yeastiness than I'd like, but still pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, tastes all right. It's got a bit of a sharp bitterness to it that can come from fermentation issues where you might be sat on the yeast a little longer than would perhaps be necessary or traditional in a full-scale brewery. And you've got a slight lingering bitterness, which is one of the things that you get in a typical kit like a Geordie or any other value kit that you can get. So all of the beginner kits have a different hop ratio within the factory, which can sort of give a little more of a lingering bitterness. And of course, the more craft style homebrew kits will mellow out with the hops, and that's just a personal preference. I'd prefer it to be slightly less bitter, but it's pretty good. Carbonation was good, mouth feels good, tastes like bitter.
Perfect, I will take that. I'm well chuffed, my first homebrew. So you said about it had a yeasty taste. Is that because I left it in the fermenter a little bit too long before bottling, do you think?
It's one of the things that you can get with some homebrew. Well, sometimes when doing homebrew, if you've only got the one fermenter, you can't really move the beer around. So traditionally in a large scale brewery, you'd have the beer ferment for 3-4 days, maybe 5 days, depending on the speed of your yeast. And when it's done that main fermentation, you'd move it off the yeast because you start getting the yeast to sediment. So you'd move it off that yeast into a different vessel, so there's less dead yeast cells in there. And those dead yeast cells can cause sort of a phenolic-y TCP kind of flavour, not as intense as TCP actually is, but you get like a slight flavour like that, and you can mitigate a lot of that by moving the beer from one vessel to the other. So basically, gets you siphon it from one to the other at the end of fermentation.
Okay, I'll get another fermenter for the next brew. Well noted, thank you. And first off, you said head retention could have been better. Do you have any tips on that?
May get in specifically when you're doing homebrew, especially if you're cleaning stuff at home, you may have had something like a traditional sort of dish soap or a kitchen cleanser that you might have used on the bucket or when cleaning out the bottles before using them. And if you get any residual from a standard kitchen cleaner, they have tensides in them that basically their entire job is to remove foam. So it's the reason they break down surface tension so that cleaning surfaces is easier. But of course, breaking down surface tension in foam of a beer means that the foam breaks down.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Nice little top tip. Finally then, out of 10, what would you give me for my first home brew?
I would give it easily a 6 or a 7. So for me, five is absolutely standard. No major faults to it. Yeah, I'd probably give you 6. You can do quite a bit more work to get a really good beer out of it, but there's nothing wrong with it. It tastes like a bitter should do.
Slightly above average then. I will take that for my first brew. Fabian, thank you very much. I appreciate your help this morning.
No problem.
Thanks, Fabian. Catch you later.
Cheers. Bye.
A 6-7 out of 10 on my first home brew from the beer expert. I can't argue with that. But let's not just take Fabian's word for it. Let's try it myself. How did it turn out? Oh, it smells gorgeous. I have to say, for my very first time, I'm very happy with that. Fabian seal of approval and a very nice tasting bitter to see me into the winter time. Yeah, that's fantastic. Now it's time for our competition winner. We asked you to let us know your favourite Muntons Homebrew Stout for a chance to win a free kit. We had over 400 entries. Only one kit to give away. Let's see who the winner is. So here is our list of entrants from both Facebook and Instagram. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom. How many did we have in total? I know it was over 400. 412 in total. We're using the random name picker online to decide our winner. Let's put in all the entries. There you all are. Now let's pick a winner of a Muntons Stout kit. And our winner is King Cookie 7 at bell.6087. Congratulations. Check your direct messages on the platform that you entered on. We will be sending you a confirmation that you are the winner and to confirm the kit you would like to receive. Congratulations and enjoy brewing it for Christmas. For the latest information on all Muntons Homebrew products, including more opportunities to win and all things homebrew, please follow our social media accounts, Muntons Homebrew, on Instagram and Facebook. Now that's it for my first brew, and I'm absolutely buzzing with the results. I never thought it would turn out so well. On to the next one. Let's brew a stout for Christmas. See you next time. Cheers. That's so good.